Hey y'all, so welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I did like a sit down chit chat kind of update. So I'm here today. We have a new backdrop, a new background. I know. Um, so much has been going on. I'm gonna try to keep it brief, but let's see how this goes. So if you don't have your candle lit like I do, get your candle, get your water, get your popcorn, tune in. Because we're going to talk about these layoffs. We are going to talk about my journey uh, so far in this layoff season, unemployment. We're going to talk about all the things. So hopefully I can stay on track today. But yeah, if you're new, I am Rochelle, and the channel here is Faith, Family, and Fitness. And we talk about all things faith, family, fitness, lifestyle. And today is going to be all the above because let me tell you, it's been a journey. So I officially was laid off back in April. I'm coming up on my 6-month mark this week, actually. I was a former federal government contractor. I worked for a federal consulting company or on a federal contract. And I worked primarily to help support an agency, specifically their application that helped do a lot of things for the country, do a lot of things for just agencies that you're probably familiar with, but we help to support and manage the users to all of the updates. I can keep going. If you want to know more about what I did, I think I have a few videos still up on my day in a life as a business systems analyst. So go ahead and check that out. There's still some great content in there, great information. But that's what I did for almost 4 years. I journeyed into the tech space through government technology space by way of getting a referral through someone that I knew. And they made it clear that I had a lot of transferable skills, and I was basically trained on the job. They trained me in all of what I learned and did in my previous role on the job. And I was very grateful for that time, but I'm in a new season. Unfortunately, a lot of things changed with the agency that I helped to support. And with that said, we did not get the contract when we were up for rebid. So they had to decide, the new contracting company decided that they were only going to keep about 3 or 4 of us. And I was one of the ones that got let go. So through that process, through that journey, I don't know, some of you all may or may not know, but I have 3 children who are, well, one is a preteen now, but basically 3 children, 10 and under. So it wasn't fun. Like the whole process of being laid off was not fun. I kind of got some warnings, saw the writing on the wall when things were not really being explained. There were a lot of organizational changes that were going on prior to the news. So me trying to be prepared, I started applying for jobs. I want to say like really seriously applying for jobs January of this year. The climate has changed so much. So we're going to get into it. I just want to give you more of a background of what was going on and what I was doing, and kind of like the process of being let go, and then my process, my journey into being laid off for 6 months. So I wasn't able to land any roles prior to being laid off. The company I worked for they had various opportunities, various job openings that I did apply for. And typically with the consulting company, they they lose out on quite a bit of money if they have employees that they cannot place on other contracts. It's more beneficial for them to keep the employees that they have versus losing them. And so I was referred to quite a few positions. I want to say about 5 before I was laid off. I had different interviews. Um, and I believe all of them were like first round. But unfortunately, they did not select me as one of the candidates to move forward. So, with that said, I got said severance, which was a blessing. Um, and typically, you get about maybe 2 or 3 weeks of your salary, um, depending on how many years you worked for the company. And so I also was preparing to move because I knew that my housing situation was not going to benefit me or my wallet long term, not being in the same employment status, getting the same salary. So I decided to make the big decision to downsize. I was living in a 3-bedroom, 3-level townhome, which was amazing. I love that house. Like, I loved it. Okay. But I did not love it enough to go into debt and to be struggling where I felt like I wasn't able to make ends meet with no job and trying to survive off my severance. So I decided to downsize and move back to the city. And there was a lot of prayer. There was definitely a lot of fasting that went into this. And I felt very great with the decision that I made for me and my family. Because the schools, it's just the whole thing. You know, we can get into that later, but that's just the gist of why I moved. And so things are a lot smaller, but to be honest, I'm at peace because not only did I downsize, so that means that there's more money in my pocket versus going out. Now, here's the part where I'm still in the process of finding a job. Okay, spoiler alert, let's skip to the end. I'm still laid off, still unemployed, still looking for a job. So I applied for over 1,000 positions, varying from government contracting, tech roles to other industries in the government or the contracting space. I applied for the gamut, jobs from Wawa to the local government to federal government to you name it. Okay, I'm not kidding when I say I applied to over 1,000 jobs. I don't know where the count is because honestly, I stopped counting. It was just too much to keep up with. And times are really hard. Like, I'm trying to keep myself together. It's good to express this, even though I'm talking to myself and my phone. It's helping me to really articulate the process I've been going through and also kind of like where things are. So I felt like once I hit the, I want to say 3-month mark, that's when I knew that the climate has changed as far as the jobs and, you know, just with everything going on with the layoffs to the political things, and times have changed a lot. So my heart goes out to others that are in the same situation or have been affected by the layoffs, whether it's yourself or family member that's been affected, that is affecting you. I'm definitely still praying because it's not easy. It's not easy. So basically, when I hit the 3-month mark of being unemployed, and then the 4th month mark, I said, wow, this is the longest that I've been without a job. Back in the day, I think I signed up for my first job at 14. It was a summer program that we had in DC. Any Washingtonians, people from the area know the Summer Works program. Um, and that's what I signed up for. But because I was 14, I really didn't work, or I wasn't placed in an actual job. I was placed in more of like it's like a work study. So I was learning more about like administrative stuff, office work, how to use PowerPoint, Excel, Access, things like that, Word. So, and we got paid for it. And that was awesome. So that was like my first official take on having a job. So from 14, I guess, yeah, up until I'm 41, I've had a job. There were times where I did take breaks because I had children. There was a period of time where I resigned from a previous role, and I was unemployed for 2 months. But that was like the longest. No, when I was in Kentucky working for the Army Human Resources, I was unemployed for about, yeah, I guess it was like 6 months. No, 8 months. I know. That was the longest, but I was very selective with what positions I wanted. So I turned down some jobs because I was still making, I kind of was weighing okay, I'm making this amount on unemployment. If this job is at the same amount or even $1 more, I was being picky. I'm like, no, I don't want to go for that, you know? So eventually I took a job where it was paying maybe like $3 more, but still, I have not been without a job in a very long time. That was over how many years ago? That was back in 2011. Okay, you do the math. It's 2025. um, so that was like the last time I was unemployed for that long. I can't say things have been easy. Emotionally, I think that's where I have struggled significantly. I think the last time I made like a long form video, I was talking about some of my health challenges. And a lot of it is from my current employment status. I don't want to tell all my business, but let's just say the unemployment is it's non-existent. I never received an unemployment check. There are so many people laid off in the state that they were paying into. I just think that they did not have enough to sustain the amount of thousands of people who are unemployed due to the recent layoffs and who are already unemployed. So with that, applying for jobs has literally been a joke. I have been ghosted, meaning I've had a scheduled follow-up second round of interviews and no communication. It's been crazy. It's been literally the wild, wild west when it comes to applying for jobs in this current job market. And honestly, 2 weeks ago, or wasn't even 2 weeks, week and a half ago, I literally finally threw my hands up. I am not one to quit. I am not a quitter. I am not one to back down from a challenge. But when you have hit over 1,000 jobs that you've applied to and not one has sent you an offer letter of any kind, okay, it starts to get to you. So of course I took my few days, took my days off, and then I got back out there. And I'll have more of an update at a later time, but it's been a joke. Like, people have been very unprofessional. I have applied to jobs where I have been referred. I think when I got to like application 300, that's when I figured out the whole algorithm of the keywords. Like, seriously. So I had my set resumes for certain job titles that I was looking for. Of course, it was like analyst roles. Any analyst role kind of hit on certain keywords. So I had that one going. Then I had more of like the administrative one. Then I had more of the program manager one. Then I had more of the kind of like odd jobs, or let me tell you, different versions of the resume. After a while, I was getting referred. Oh, you have been referred as one of the candidates in the pool, the selection pool. You have been referred to the next step in the hiring process due to your impressive resume. Like, let me tell you how many times I was so psyched up, like, yes, like I'm moving to the next step, because for so long it was like nothing, silence. You submit your resume and there was nothing. There was no communication. It was that auto reply email. Thank you for submitting your resume. If the company or the team is impressed with your skills, we will follow up. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. So when I hit that mark, I'm like, yay. And then I started making it to the interviews. And then it was like, okay, I made it to the first round. And, some of them I'm like, oh my gosh, this is promising. Like, and then it was like nothing, crickets. So it was when I say towards the end, most recently, when I actually, even one interview, I had to do a task, basically to show them my skills, to see if I can do the work prior to them even seeing me face to face. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a hands-on person. Like, this is awesome. This is like the best thing ever. And so I did the job. I did the task. I had it all ready to go. Crickets for 2 days. Then they responded and said, oh, thank you so much for submitting the task. We are currently reviewing it, and it's literally been 3 weeks. So needless to say, when all of that was coming down, there's some more stories to share, but this process has been a nightmare, to say the least, but I see the blessing in all of it. Like, I cannot give up on my faith. Like, I cannot give up on the great things that have come out of this. I needed this break. At some different points, I was burning the candle at both ends, okay? I was running myself ragged. And yes, I was working from home, and that was a tremendous blessing. But at the same time, it was a lot that I was putting on my plate and not really taking care of myself. So I'm thankful I've been able to actually relax and rest. Spend more time with my children, really get to not feel as rushed, and actually have conversations now that they're getting older, being able to spend that time over dinner, spend that extra time on their homework, spend extra time getting ready in the morning, not feeling like, oh, it's dread because I know I have a 9 o'clock meeting. You know what I mean? Like, I am seeing the beauty in all of this. And so I wanted to leave you with this. Although my story may not be your story, my experience through this unemployment layoff journey may not be your experience. But just know that if you are a believer, God has you. You may not get the opportunity that you want or that you even applied for. But there's a blessing in every season. And sometimes you have to take a step or 2 or 3 steps back to really get to where you want to be and where God wants you to be, most importantly. And that's my prayer, to be where God wants me to be around the people, to really make an impact where God wants me to make an impact in this season. So stay encouraged. Don't give up. Take your breaks, take your time, cry your tears, because I have cried a lot of tears, let me tell you. But don't give up. Your blessing is coming. Your job is coming. Your opportunity is coming. Continue to work on you and let God do the rest. Continue to be blessed, and I will see you soon.